Alright, it's Tuesday. So my computer is being stupid, so I'm posting this a day late. While I'm making my video, I'm gonna paint my toes. Alright, so awesome question, Brenda. What inspires me to be a musician and to in turn teach music? I would say when I took piano lessons starting, I think, second grade, I think that's when my quote-unquote obsession with music started. My piano lesson at the time, she was in a bunch of music programs, but teacher associations in Kalamazoo and whatnot. And I mean, I had to do theory then, and I absolutely hate it almost as much as I hate it now. Even though I kind of wish I would have just paid attention to those. And then she originally first inspired me to be a musician. And then in 5th grade, because I went to a private school, my teacher brought in instruments for everybody to try. Now, 5th grade, I was like, I'm going to be a trumpet player. I'm going to play trumpet. He brought in a trumpet, and I couldn't play. I didn't know how. So he had a tenor sax, so I tried that and I could play. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to be tenor sax. The next year I went to a public school, and they didn't let you start on tenor sax. So I played alto, and I was pretty good, and when I auditioned for tenor sax, I got it. And being the lead tenor sax, I mean, I basically sight read everything, which then in turn made my sight reading better, which is why my sight singing is so good. And my middle school band director really motivated me a lot. She was really awesome. And she left my 8th grade year. But through most of middle school, I wanted to be a vet. But then I was like, oh wait, I have to deal with blood and animal guts. And I changed my mind. I was like, oh, I could, I don't know, do something else. So then I took lessons with this guy named Henry Kapersky, who currently plays gigs and stuff in New York City right now. He was a student at Western Michigan, and I took saxophone lessons from him. And he has a tenor sax, which he got from someone who was on SNL, which I think is awesome. That's when I started focusing more on playing saxophone, because I'd been playing piano for the longest time. So I focused, right at that point, I was half and half with playing saxophone and piano. And I don't know, I kind of like doing both. And then when I got to high school, I started taking piano lessons with Dr. Rappaport, who, before she gave me lessons, she was on the board of music at Western Michigan University for piano. So I took lessons with her for a while. I went to Blue Lake for piano performance for 2 years, because I was like, oh, I'll just perform in pianos and play with orchestras and symphonies. And I had started taking lessons with Henning Schroeder, who is good friends with Dr. Holmes. He's in a quartet with him. And that motivated, and I wasn't always good at practicing. So for those high schoolers and middle schoolers watching, practice. Otherwise, it won't be pretty. So since I wasn't practicing piano as much, my piano teacher basically dropped me. So I focused on saxophone more. I was section leader and first chair, which in a way motivated me to be a music ed major. And I just love teaching, and not gonna lie, I like playing. It's a good way to blow off steam, so to say, for me. What else? I like the musical aspect of it, even though most of the time I'm just sight read, which isn't good. And at the time, Henning persuaded me to go to ISYM, which I met Dr. Holmes and Dr. Richtemeyer and just fell in love with the music program and the saxophone professors here. And just sort of fell into place. I didn't get into Western or Michigan State, and the only other place I got into was Ohio Northern, because that's where Henning teaches saxophone now. So it was between there and here, and ultimately came here. And I mean, every day in class, it just gives me another reason to, I guess, fall more in love with teaching music and all that good stuff, you know? I mean, I like learning about all the new learning how to play all these instruments, and I mean, theory and all suck, but it'll prepare me better to be a better teacher, and that's good. I mean, the thing that most excites me about being a teacher, like if I teach middle school, seeing my 6th graders' eyes light up for the first time when making a note on their instrument or playing their first full saw, and just that curiosity for their instrument, or with high school, helping them better improve their talent to go to college for music, or taking my bands on trips to Disney so they can play in the light show, the light parade, or even to Europe. I mean, that would be phenomenal. Getting the opportunity to play in those places. I went to Europe with a band, and it was just one more reason why I wanted to be music ed, because, I mean, the experience you can have with your students and the experience you get, the experiences that you provide for your students, those are once in a lifetime. I mean, I'll probably never go play in band in Europe again, but the experiences I have and the experiences I had and the connections I made with different band directors and other people, I mean, I still keep in touch with those people. And just all these band directors, I mean, I'm still fairly close with my band directors, and I was able to go shadow them and look at it from more of a teacher's point of view instead of the students, because when you're in the band, you're looking at it as learning how to play the music. But then when you're shadowing, you're learning how to teach. So you pick up different things, and I don't know, shadowing my middle school band, the middle school band director now, or the pep band director, I mean, he's so energetic and upbeat, but he's still brutally honest with the kids. And one thing he said that really, I guess, inspired me a little bit was he was doing chair tests when I shadowed him for the 7th graders who I was a student aide when they were 6th graders. And he said, "This is not a judgment of how you play overall, it's a judgment of how you play today." Which, in a way, you can't really judge one day of playing on your entire ability based on one play, one day. Because you might just have a bad day. You might have a bad read, or a valve might just be crappy that day. I mean, it all depends. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what motivates me to be a band director and be a musician. Oh, and of course, my favorite band, don't judge me, Panic at the Disco. Just, when you're having a bad day, I just listen to all 4 of their albums and watch the videos I sometimes have. The videos I have of them, because I went to their concert in last July, and I don't know, just how they came about and all that stuff. So, awesome question, Brenda. Good question. All right. Bye.